I wiped frosting out of my left eye with the back of my hand and tasted sugar mixed with humiliation. The room was quiet in that specific way families get when they've already decided who's guilty. Someone laughed, nervous, sharp. My mother didn't look at me. She stared at the ruined cake sliding down my jacket like it was proof of something she'd always known. "Greedy egoist," my sister said, voice trembling, not from shame, but from practiced victimhood. "You really won't even help your own family?" I stood there, blinking through cream and crumbs, listening to my heartbeat slow itself down. That was the moment I realized this had never been about the apartment. It was about permission. I excused myself to the bathroom, locked the door, looked at my reflection. 40 minutes earlier, I'd walked into that house believing I was still a son, still a brother. Now I understood. They'd rehearsed this. The apartment was worth just under $300,000. Paid in full. Mine. Earned over 11 years of working jobs no one in that room could last a week in. But my sister, my golden child sister, had made a different calculation. She needed it. Not wanted, needed. Because her life was collapsing in ways no one wanted to say out loud. She'd been late on rent for months. Fired twice in 1 year. And there were whispers, quiet ones, about a man who wasn't her husband. About nights she couldn't explain. About money that vanished. At dinner, when I said no, the room shifted. My father cleared his throat like a judge preparing a sentence. My mother said my name the way she used to when I disappointed her as a child. And my sister smiled. A small, relieved smile. Because she knew something I didn't. Later that night, after I left with my jacket still stained, my phone vibrated. A message from an unknown number. "You should have just given it to her. You don't know the whole story." No punctuation, no signature. I stared at it longer than I should have. Then another message came through. A photo. Old, grainy, taken through glass. My sister, crying, hugging my mother in a hospital hallway. The timestamp stopped my breath. It was from 3 years ago. From a night I'd been told she was working late. I didn't respond. I didn't confront anyone. I did what I've always done when things don't add up. I started counting. Phone records. Public filings. Quiet questions asked to the right people. Dates compared against stories that no longer matched. Every answer led to the same place. And the more I uncovered, the calmer I became. Because greed had nothing to do with it. They weren't asking for my apartment. They were trying to erase their mistake. I didn't rush the truth. I let it ripen. Weeks passed. Birth records, old insurance claims, a hospital billing clerk who remembered my mother too well, a man listed as emergency contact who was not my father. Patterns don't lie. People do. The final confirmation came in an envelope thin enough to look harmless. DNA. Cold ink. Percentages that rewrote childhood memories without emotion. My sister wasn't the family's golden child. She was the family's secret. I asked them all to come over on a Sunday. Said nothing about why. Neutral voice. Calm invitation. They came confident. My sister wore white. My mother brought dessert. My father avoided my eyes. I waited until we were seated. No speeches, no build-up. I slid the envelope across the table. My sister laughed at first. A reflex. Then she opened it. The color drained from her face in layers. "What is this?" she whispered. "Read it," I said. She did. Twice. My mother reached for it. Hands shaking now. Real shaking. Not performance. "No," she said. This is wrong." "It's not," I replied. I checked. Silence thickened, heavy, unforgiving. My father stood up, then sat back down like his legs forgot their purpose. I watched them break one by one, and I felt nothing. "She needed help," my mother finally said. "We were protecting her." "You were using me," I said, still calm, still steady. "And you wanted my apartment to finish the job." My sister started crying then, loud, desperate. A sound I'd heard my whole life when consequences arrived late. "I'm your sister," she said. "Doesn't that mean anything?" I looked at her carefully. "No," I said. "It means you knew, and you still threw the cake." I stood up, picked up my jacket from the chair. The stain was gone, dry cleaned. Perfect. "I've already transferred the apartment," I said, watching panic ignite. "Not to you." My mother gasped. "To a trust," I continued. "Irrevocable, under my name only. You'll never touch it." My sister collapsed into sobs. My father said nothing. I walked to the door. At the threshold, I turned once. "You called me greedy," I said. "But greed wants more. I just refused to be erased." I left before anyone could respond. I don't attend gatherings now. I don't answer messages. I sleep better. Some people lose families. Others finally see them clearly. And once you see the truth, you don't wipe it off. You walk away with it.